This is a demonstration of Milestone 2. Right now, I'm going to demonstrate the flat file database. I made this database as a substitute for the MySQL database because I couldn't get Unity to connect to my MySQL database. Okay, it says that the user exists. If you try to type in a user with the same username as you or the same password as you, okay, and here's the information here. My username and my password has been sent to the database. Here it is again. And the database is just a plain text file. Now I'm going to log in with the same information. And I'm logged in. Okay, the kills and deaths are displayed now on the screen. How many kills a user has and how many deaths. Whenever the user dies, that's counted, and whenever the user kills another player, that's also counted, and the player has to restart the game. This screen comes up, restart the game. The player's net ID is unregistered. The player's net ID is registered once the game begins. You click OK to go back into the main screen. I'm going to log in again. In the top left corner here, this shows the information about the gyroscope. This shows that I have the gyroscope code set up right. I'm going to comment that out in my code. And also I have the leaderboard layout set up. This is the leaderboard layout. It has my information my username and the number of kills and deaths, which it gets the number of kills and deaths from the user account manager. Now, I don't have the score system set up yet. I mean, not the score system, but the skill system set up yet. When I have everything set up, and when the player has some information to place in all of these variables, then all of the information will be displayed. And so far, with this leaderboard can hold 13 users' information, and when you click on a user, the user's name will come up. Right now it says K. Williams entry. And the player's score is displayed here. And I'm going to show some of the code. This is the code for the user account manager. It keeps track of each piece of the player's information: your username, password, level, score, deaths. Everything is sent here and stored here, and any other script can access this information. And this is the enemy detection script that detects whether the player is in range of an enemy. If the player is in range of an enemy, the canvas with the laser will be displayed. And I also want to add some sound effects. I'm looking for some sound effects that will be suitable for a laser. And this code here was pretty easy to set up. It was easier than I expected. This code detects whether the player rotates, whether the player's angle and position rotates. And when the player is out of range of the enemy player, the laser will not be displayed. And this is the game manager that registers and unregisters a player. Once the player gets killed, they're unregistered. Their net ID is registered at the beginning of the game. And the player's net IDs are stored in a dictionary. This is the dictionary here. And this dictionary is taken from the take damage script that's attached to the players. And I'm going to comment this out, but this is the visual of the dictionary, the GUI method. This visually displays the dictionary. And this is the register script. This is the file that sends the player's registration information, username and password to the database. And this reads the data to make sure that the user isn't entering a username that already exists or a password that already exists, which adds extra security to the game. If the user adds a username that exists, the user exists, warning would pop up. And if the username and password is good, then it sends the data to the database. Once successfully registered, you're on to the game scene. And this is the gyroscope code. I added code to it that will ask the user permission to use their gyroscope on their device if they have one. And this is the visual information that displays the stats about the gyroscope. Well, not all devices will have a gyroscope, and if your device doesn't have one, then the mini-map compass won't work on that device. I'm going to comment this GUI code out because it isn't really needed. It's just to show that the gyroscope is set up. And this is the score manager. This is the code that that's used with the leaderboard. And this code operates with the easy list asset from the Unity asset store. I watched a tutorial on YouTube on how to set this up. It was my first time working with list view and observable collections and atlas models in Unity. And the gyroscope code was easier to set up than I imagined. And this is the projectile code. This code is used to display turns, red team or blue team's turn, and to shoot. This code displays how many more rounds of ammo the player has. And the player's shoot button is disabled while the opposing player takes their turn. This is the code that disables the player's shoot button. It took me a while to figure out how to disable the player shoot button, and the host player always shoots first. And this is the script that calculates the damage each player receives and the amount of kills and deaths each player has. Once the player dies, they go back to the main scene, and the health bar changes each time the player's health decreases. The player is registered. This part of the code registers the player. It gets their net ID and registers the player once they join the server. And if the player isn't damaged at all throughout the game, they've won the game, and they get added score points, and they get to go on to the next level, and they receive a skill attribute. And if the player is logged in, their player info, their score, deaths and kills are sent to the user manager. I haven't finished with the skill system yet. I have the skill system as part of Milestone 3. And this script is attached to the child AI army object. If they collide with the bullet, damage is subtracted, and a message saying that the player has been shot. Their army character has been shot. And it gets the username of the killer. and displays how many kills the opposing player has. And here's the script that sends the store database, the in-game store info to the database. I have it commented out because the information is already in the database. There's no need to keep sending the information there. But it sends the item type, item name, item ID, and item ID. Yeah, the item type, item name, and item ID to the database. Well, that isn't needed there. And here's the database, the store database with the information. It was easier than I thought to set up the flat file database. I just watched one tutorial on YouTube about how to store information to a plain text file and put it on a web server using PHP. And this concludes a Milestone 2 demonstration and code explanation.